Hey folks, my name is Archie. I use they, them pronouns, and I am very, very proudly the founder and CEO at Queertown. And I'm here today to say, Happy Wear Purple Day! Yee-hoo! So in this short video, I want to take a moment to firstly acknowledge what Wear It Purple Day is, acknowledge its history and why you're wearing purple today if you managed to find any in your wardrobe. I did struggle, to be honest. Secondly, I want to share a couple of stories and experiences from the community to provide context. And thirdly, I want to give you some very basic tips and strategies. So if you're feeling motivated or you're feeling like you want to act upon your allyship, you have ways to do that after this video. So let's talk about Wear It Purple Day. Quick content warning, there are going to be references to poor mental health and suicide. So I'm going to take you back to 2010. And I'm going to share a name with you, Tyler Clementi. So Tyler was born and raised in New Jersey in America and was born in 1991, so was a year older than I am. In 2010, Tyler was 18, had just entered college, and Tyler was an incredible musician. He was particularly proficient in violin, and he was actually the concert master at his local orchestra. So he worked incredibly hard, was incredibly talented, and had a lot of potential. And at that time, at that college, people were assigned dorm mates at random. And so when that dorm mate received Tyler's name, he did a bit of a Google search. And he saw that Tyler had posted on a public sort of LGBTIQA+ online forum. So this dorm mate tweeted out to their followers, his followers, I've just found out I'm living with a gay person. So that was really the kind of only context there. They started living together. Where it starts to get a little heavy is, unfortunately, one night, Tyler's dorm mate set up a webcam with a friend to film Tyler without his awareness and without his consent while he was in the privacy of his own bedroom. So Tyler had a friend over that night. I use the term friend, I'm not sure what the relationship was, but the video footage captured Tyler and this other person, this other boy, kissing, which, you know, sounds like pretty normal behavior in a dorm room to me. The dorm mate found it in the footage and tweeted this out publicly without Tyler's consent. It's worth noting that Tyler had only recently come out to his family. It's on record that his mum had struggled a little bit with it. And then he'd moved to college. So he's in a pretty vulnerable position. And then suddenly, without his control, this footage is circulated publicly. And sadly, a couple of days later, Tyler did end up taking his own life. That case itself, it gained a lot of traction in America. People started to hear about it and learn about it and see how horrible and cruel and disturbing it was. And it reached as far as, Barack Obama was talking about it during his presidency. Madonna herself put a picture of Tyler up during her concert at that time. So Tyler's story was heard and shared, and a young woman heard the story and she took it upon herself to start Spirit Day. And it's still celebrated today in America. And it's a day where people wear purple. And you may not be aware, but the rainbow flag that reflects our communities, each of those colors has a different meaning. And the color purple within our flag represents spirit. The spirit of our community, the spirit of resilience, the spirit of individuality. It's what we celebrate over here as Wear It Purple Day. And I just think it's so cool and powerful that Tyler's life, it held meaning. He has a legacy. And 14 years later, here we are. Queertown is creating this video. All week I've been working with different businesses, with people, rooms filled with people wearing purple. And that's a legacy to Tyler. So that's a little bit about the history of Wear It Purple Day, but why do we still celebrate it today? And the reason is, although we've made a lot of progress here in Australia, we have a long way to go. So I'm going to share a few statistics with you now to show you where we're at here in Australia today. So these stats come from two studies, both Australian-based, both done in 2020. One's called Writing Themselves In, and the other is called Private Lives. They found that in the past year, almost 60% of young LGBTIQA+ Australians had experienced verbal abuse. Almost 80% of students and teachers living in regional and remote parts of the country had heard negative comments made about members of our community. And finally, they found that almost 60% of young LGBTIQA+ Australians had seriously considered suicide in the past 12 months. So while we've made a lot of progress as a community, we have a long way to go. And that's why days like Wear It Purple Day are so important, to open conversation, to show our allyship and support, to listen and learn from members of the community. So that's why we are so grateful that you are taking the time to do that today. Okay, so I wanted to finish today's video with a few quick tips that you can implement beyond Wear It Purple Day. And I thought I'd do it in a short-term, medium-term, and long-term option. So when it comes to right now, don't wait to be called upon. Engage now. Oftentimes we might feel as though it's not our place to engage if we don't identify with the community. But trust me, we need our allies. Our allies are a huge reason why we gain momentum, why we gain support. So engaging can be in the privacy of your own living room watching a documentary. One of many is Paris is Burning. It's an amazing way to learn a bit of history, particularly around trans and gender diversity and ball culture and Vogue culture and, drag culture. You can also wear your allyship. And it's such a powerful thing to do if you have a rainbow pin or a rainbow lanyard. For those who don't need it, they may not even notice it. But for those of us in the community, I can say with confidence, it's like a beacon of allyship. My second tip is a medium-term one, and it's around the way that we communicate with others. And if you're wanting people in your life to know that you're a safe person for them to express themselves to or open up to, you need to role model that as well. Rather than going up to someone and saying, "Are you gay?" or "If you want to come out to me, you can," which would be pretty confronting. Other options are to share a little bit about yourself in a way that feels appropriate and safe and authentic. There are little ways you can drop hints as well. If you talk openly about maybe an LGBTIQA+ person in your life, that is a clear sign to those around you that you're an ally, that you're someone who's open and comfortable. What I will say is, if you're not a qualified therapist, you don't need or maybe shouldn't try to be one. There are amazing services out there. One example is Switchboard. So if you find that someone's disclosing something that you think is troublesome or they need extra support or you don't have the capacity or the skills to do so, looking for resources like Switchboard, for example, they're great places to go and you can provide that resource to that person and check in with them along the way. My final tip, which is more of a long-term one, is set an action plan. It's as simple as long-term, medium-term, short-term, like these tips. So your long-term goal might be, let's make sure our policies use inclusive language, or let's make sure that we go to Pride March next year and show support to our local community. Whatever that goal is for you, name it and work backwards. What do we need to bring together to make this happen? What people do we need to get involved? Some of them will be internal, but a really key part of this is external consultation. Don't put the pressure on the LGBTIQA+ people in your team to have all the answers. They're not necessarily trained professionals or educators just because they're members of the community. So reach out to an organization like Queertown. We provide ongoing training, consultation, bespoke workshops, and we're here to help. But by setting those goals and evaluating your progress, that's how you make momentum. So that's all for today's video. I hope that it was helpful and useful. I want to say thank you again so much for acknowledging not only Wear It Purple Day, but supporting the LGBTIQA+ community. As you saw in those statistics, we really, really need it. And it's no exaggeration to say an inclusive workplace or an inclusive environment, it can save lives. So thank you again. Thank you for investing and engaging with Queertown. If you'd like to find us, you can find us at queertown.com.au and learn about our offerings and our work. You can find us on LinkedIn. You can find myself, Archie Beetle, at LinkedIn, and you'll find us on Instagram as well. So good luck over there. Don't be afraid to reach out, and happy Wear It Purple Day.